and welcome to the Card Deck Creator interview series. Today I've got the beautiful Luna Goknar with me all the way from America, and she's got this most stunning deck that she kindly sent me as well, and it's got gold foil, which I'm super excited about. So thank you for joining me, Luna.
Thank you for having me.
So can you tell us a little bit about what you do and then how you came about doing this deck, like what motivated and inspired you?
All right, so about me, that's kind of complicated because I'm an anthropologist. I'm a professor of anthropology. I'm also an intuitive healer and author. And those, yeah, basically those. And I'm a mom of two kids, 9-year-old and 11-year-old. So this thing actually, this took like a lot of years actually, just thinking about it, dreaming about it, and putting it aside. So I was very interested in mysticism for a very long time. For a couple of decades, I've been really delving into Gnosticism, Kabbalah, and Sufism, and trying to understand about the world, about myself, trying to go within deeper and deeper and deeper. And all this, like this quest within me, let's say. So during this quest, I learned a lot about like ancient wisdom and about life, about energy, about how things work really, and like things that they don't teach us, like how energy works, but a lot of things around that. And also, I thought that I really understood manifestation. And so I started thinking about, I want to do something about this. Like, I want to try it out. So I started a course, Manifest a Wish. And I had like 35 students in the first round. And everyone, it was 6 months. By the end of 6 months, everyone had manifested their wish. Like people who had been single all their lives got engaged, and they moved to a new house. Like everything happened. And so I was so happy. I was having these emails every day. And I know that I didn't want to do that course so much because it's a big commitment. But I really wanted to do something to bring this magic into people's lives. And I wanted to share it. So I was thinking about playing around with the idea of having a book published about it. But then book, many times, I don't know if you're like that, but when I read a book and there are all those practices, exercises, and I read them, and sometimes I will practice them, and that's great. But many times I will just read and I'm like, oh, that's good, you know. So I wanted to have something really practical like the course. And I came up with this idea of these, having an oracle deck so people could pick a card and then have a book with it. And so they could go to the book. There are like exercises and, a lot of practices for each card in the book. So they could go and this could work as a system. They could go find the practices, pick a card, do the practices. And so they could start this process of self-transformation, and they could manifest the things they really, really wanted in their lives. This was an idea, but I was still not confident. And I came up on your course one day, how to, produce your own oracle card deck. And then I was like, oh, perhaps I can do this. And so I started your course. It was very inspiring and very helpful and very informative. And so here we are.
Thank you for sharing. And I love what you said about a book. Like we all read these, development books to help us be better people, live better lives, manifest. But once you put the book down, you don't really think about it, right? Often, or you might start doing a few exercises and then it just, peters off. So I think what you've done with this deck is really good because it's like a daily practice.
Yeah, that's what I want. This is not like an oracle deck that you just pick a card and read it and you forget about it. I thought about this as a system. So this is for people who are very serious about manifesting their heart's desires. If they really want to manifest everything they want in their life, whatever is for their highest and best good, then this is a system, and they need to be really disciplined, doing the, cards one after the other, perhaps one card every week or every month, I don't know. But it is down to the person. If that person is willing to be committed to manifesting her or his wish, then it works. So it's not like, oh, this is a good card, and yeah, nice.
Yes, it's got a bit more to it than that. So let's talk a little bit about the creative process. So you already had the Manifest a Wish course. So you had a lot of content and that you'd used and students had used. So what was your sort of process? Did you do the cards first and then work on the book, or did the book sort of inform the cards?
Actually, I did I came upon the cards first. I didn't look at the course. I knew that the course was within me anyway. So I just left. I did meditation. And I meditated on this, and I wanted to be inspired. I connected to the, divine inspiration, universe, whatever you want to call it. And then I let the inspiration flow through me, and I wanted to come up with the circle card deck, and each card had to be the highest and best good for everyone, and it had to bring magic to those people's lives and help them self-transform. All of those intentions I put into my meditation. I wanted to be inspired, and then the cards, I came up with the cards, and so the cards came first, and then I wrote the book.
Beautiful. And I mean, I always design the cards first. I often do the images and then work out what I'm going to say.
Images were the last. Images were the last, because I'm not a designer. I'm not, an artist like you. So for me, words are priority.
Yes. So the cards are quite simple in their design, but they've got this beautiful foiling as well. So you did these in Canva. Is that correct?
Yes.
And a lot of these I notice are like Canva elements that look really gorgeous. So then when you were working with the printer, so you worked with the printer in China, is that correct? So this isn't make plain cards or anything. It's a more advanced printer, I think. So how did you convert these? Like, people are always curious, like, how do I make this into gold foil? Was that tricky? Did you have to go back and forth with the printer a bit?
It was the easiest thing, actually. And actually, the reason why I had black and gold was because I'm not a designer. So I wasn't confident about colors and matching colors and everything. That's why I wanted it to be simple for my first card deck. And when I explored about the printers, this printer in China, they could do gold foil, and I thought that's a great idea. So if they can just put gold foil, then it's the same color on each card, and I don't have to worry about it. And they were so very easy to, very helpful. I just wanted gold foil, and they did it, actually.
So if this element it was in Canva, did you have to make it gold to begin with, or did they just take whatever the element was and this and just make it gold?
I just put like a yellow color there, and I told them that everything on the black, every design was just had to be gold foil. That's all.
Yes.
I mean, it could have been pink. I mean, because they knew that I wanted everything gold foil, so that was easy.
I think it's much easier to have every element bar the back black gold foil than just having certain elements. It makes it simpler. And then, so what was the process like working with the printer? You sent them the PDF. When did they send you a sample, and did you make changes? Like, what was that process like for you?
So for me, the scariest part was the box, because I didn't know how to design a box. So I had designed the cards, and I thought it was like foolproof. I would just send the cards and they would print. But how about the box? And so that's and that's why I'm so thankful for, working with that printer. What I did was I just made a design. I said, this is the front of the box. And I made the design. I said, this is the back of the box. And this is one side. And that's one side. And they just followed my brief and they made the design. So that was a lifesaver for me, because I spent months freaking out about the box design. I was looking for designers and I was like, I will never have this box. But then when I asked them, they were like, okay, just tell us on each side, what do you want to have? And that was that easy. So with the cards, I just sent them the PDFs and they sent me a proof and I proofed it, and that was all. The book was a little tricky because, you have to put all the pages on Canva. So it was kind of tricky and it's a lot of pages, 120 pages, but it worked out fine.
Beautiful. Thank you. And yes, what you're saying about the box, it is the hardest bit. I've just done some boxes for clients as well. And they give you these PDF templates and it's a flat view of it. And then you've got to imagine it in 3D. So it's great that they were able to help you. And the good thing is your box is actually quite simple in terms of the design. So as long as it's centered, it's fine, right? Now,
yes.
I've got this box here. It looks like the ones, I don't know if it's the angle of the camera, but yours looks bigger. Did you do two sizes?
The same.
Oh, it just must be the angle because we're on a mobile phone.
Yeah, probably, yes.
Yeah.
But
I think it's just the perspective. So would you like to pull a card for us? Yeah, lovely.
All right. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Perhaps I should have made something ready, like a beautiful card or something. That's a good one. So I love this one. So this is the back of the card, and this is the card I picked. I treat myself as I treat others. So we often hear, treat yourself, treat other people like the way you want to be treated, but this is, I treat myself as I treat others, which is very important because we are really harsh on ourselves usually, more than we are harsh to others. We don't call people like stupid, you're gonna fail again, but we can say that to ourselves, like, oh, I'm so stupid, I'll never do it. So this is very important, the way we talk to ourselves, the way that our self-talk, and also the feelings which come with it.
I love that card because it's so true. I don't have it as bad as some people, but I hear the way people sort of talk to themselves, and I'm like, you wouldn't talk to someone else like that you didn't even like, let alone someone that you cared about. So beautiful card. Now let's talk about selling the deck. So you've got your deck on Etsy, is that right? And is that the only way you're selling it at the moment?
Yes, that's the only way I'm selling it at the moment. I tried with Amazon, but I couldn't classify these cards as book. Amazon wanted to classify them as a toy, which I didn't want. In the category of toys, I don't know any kids who are buying, Oracle card decks on Amazon. But anyway, so I decided that I will go with Etsy, and I thought that Etsy for me is like more intimate, and you can build a community. And I like that, people who do their own stuff, who put efforts into producing their own thing, are there. So I like the energy of it.
Beautiful. And I'll include a link below the video or with the video to your Etsy listing. The one thing I will say, so when you list on Amazon, the mentor that I'm working with, who's an Amazon expert, she says to list them as gifts. So you can't list them as books, and you actually don't want to list them as books. So she said gifts and toys it weirdly works better for selling decks. So that's interesting. So once I master it, I'll be able to teach other people what I'm doing. But Amazon is its own beast. And like you, I also like Etsy. And there's a lot of card decks for sale. But I would say yours is one of the most professional looking ones that I've seen on Etsy. So well done.
Thank you, and also thanks to you, because I had a counseling session with you, so you really spruced it up. So
Thank
yeah.
you. And I guess for the last thing is, what advice would you give for someone who's, if we turn back time, is at the place you were when you were just getting started and thinking about it? What advice would you like to share with someone who's just getting started or not even started yet?
Yes, if this is something you really want to do, I think if it is not just like, oh, I want to have Oracle card deck and make money, because I don't think you can make money that easily with an Oracle card deck anyway. But if it is like your passion, I think you should just go with it and not be intimidated by the whole process. Because when you are putting your heart and efforts into this project, it's gonna flow in this way or another way. You may find another printer, you may work with someone else. But for me, the most helpful thing was taking the course from you, because before that course, it was intimidating for me. It was a huge project. But then once I took the course, I could see, I used your template here, like, this template. So I made it easy on myself using your template and using just 2 colors. And because what I thought was, I really want to bring this magic to people, and I shouldn't really worry about like making it so perfect, but bringing it out to the world. And that took a lot of pressure off me. And also, not, everything turns out, well, if you really just keep with it. Like the box, for example, I lost like almost a year just speaking about a box design.
Thank you for sharing. You're right. And the box does hold people up. So, don't let the box hold you up. Just message me and I can work on the box for you. Well, thank you so much for your time. I wish you all the best with your Manifest Wish gorgeous deck. I'm going to be using it with my son as well. He's a big deck lover. And thank you for your time. And I wish you all the best. And you've just created something really magical. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me, Aisha.
I hope you enjoyed that. Wasn't it interesting? And I hope you got some inspiration and some tips from listening to this. So if you're interested in making your own card deck, I invite you to check out the Card Deck Creators Toolkit that I've created for people like you who want to create their own inspirational, affirmation, or oracle card deck. There's so many different card decks that you can create. So I invite you to check out the links below to get the toolkit and get on your way creating. And if you've already created your own card deck, congratulations. Share a link below. I'd love to see it. Much love to you and take care.